Tracy here with Paper Closet Designs, and today I'm really excited to share some new Valentine files with you. So if you will remember, I've done a bunch of these wiper cards. So here is a cupcake happy birthday one, and you pull the sides and then you have a little piece pop up in the back. So this one I've already done. And here is my Have a Tweet Day, and when you pull on it, the little bird pops up. Today I'm going to do 3 new wiper cards, and these are all specific for Valentine's Day, and all of them have 3 printables with them. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got a frog, a koala bear, and a teddy bear. We're going to do the teddy bear first. I'm going to move these pieces out of the way, and I will show you what you get with your file, and then we will go ahead and assemble it. I am going to assemble all 3 cards on this video, but I will have it divided up into segments so that if you want to watch just the one card that you've purchased, you can do that. Okay, so with the teddy bear, this is what you'll get. You have the little teddy bear, and he has lots of layers, and I will show all those layers to you as we assemble him. And then you have your embellishment panels. And I think these embellishment panels would be really fun cut out of your pattern paper. And then we have the front card piece. This is a little bit different than some of the other wiper cards, is I've cut a sentiment that can go on the back. Specifically for Valentine's, it says to and from, but you can use it for whatever. There's another embellishment panel. Then we have the little printable heart that goes in your wiper piece, and this is your wiper piece. The back embellishment panel and the back of your card. So let's go ahead and assemble this one first. And if you've done these before, you'll know that they do go together really easy. So I'm going to take my background piece first, and I'm going to glue it to the back. So I'm just going to take some of my tape, and we're just going to tape it back here. Now this is not a perfect square, so you want to make sure that it's going to fit. And I'm just lining it up next to the score line and not right on top of it. Okay? And then we're going to add our wiper piece. So for this wiper piece, it's pretty easy. It's just a heart that says very special. I'm just going to glue it, and I'm going to glue it right to my wiper piece. Like that. And then on these 2 pieces, I will show you on this one in detail, and then we'll just do it with the rest of them. On your wiper piece, you have a diagonal score line right here. The cards that I cut out today, I cut out with the perforation lines or the dash lines, or you can do it with the score lines. But you're going to score it right on there. You're going to take that piece and you're going to fold it up towards you. And then you're going to take your back piece and you're going to fold it into a Z. So you've got 2 score lines. We're going to take the first one and fold it over. And then we're going to take this back piece and we're going to fold it back, so that when you're looking at it, it kind of looks like a Z. Does that make sense? Okay, on this back piece, you have a G cut out, and then you have 2 dash lines and another dash line at top. This is your guide for where your wiper piece is going to be. So the only thing we're going to do is we're going to flip it over, and we're going to put glue on that triangle right there. And then we're going to glue the triangle only right over the G, lining up with those 3 guidelines. And we're just going to press that down and let it dry. And you'll know that you've done it right because when you fold it over, this piece comes down and hides underneath there. And then we'll take our last embellishment piece that goes on this back card, and it is the smaller one that is cut at an angle. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on it. And it goes on this last tab, and it does have a little bit of shadow all the way around it. Just line that up. And now your back piece is finished. At this point, if you want to add your to from on the back, we'll fold it up and turn it over, and then you can add it to the side or right in the middle. But I think it's easier to do it now than once it's all assembled. So I'm going to just take my tape runner, and we're just going to lay it right there on this side. And now you have somewhere to put your to from on. I do have a video with both Cricut and Silhouette of how to print this, get it ready to print, or if you would rather do it without the sentiment, the to from, or the sentiments that are on the rest of the hearts, I'll show you how to ignore those or delete them and just use the hearts. Okay, so there's the back piece. Now for the front piece, we're going to take our angled embellishment panel and put some tape on it, and we'll glue it to the front of the card. And it also has a little bit of shadow all the way around it. And then we're going to fold this card. So the way that we fold it is there's two score lines again. Don't know if you can see those or not. We're going to take the first one and we're going to fold it down or away from us. And then we're going to take the next one, that last one, and fold it up or towards us. So that once again, we have a Z, and it's running in the opposite direction of the other card, if you can see that. Okay, so with that open, we're going to go ahead and put the other two embellishment panels on there. And they just fit in between those score lines, and the color of the card does show through, which I really like. All right. Let's get that on there straight. Okay, let's set that aside, and now we are going to assemble our bear. On the bear, well, actually on all three of these pieces, we are actually layering colors that are the same. And so I don't know if you can see that or not, but on his paws, I took my distressing crayons and I inked up the edges just a little bit because they're laying on the same color and I want to give it some dimension. That is an optional step. You do not need to do that, but you can if you want. You could also cut these out of a different shade of brown. And then you would need to ink them up. Okay, so on the bear, we have the 4 paws, two hands and 2 feet. We have the heart and we have the printed sentiment. And again, in the videos, I'll show you how to delete that if you want to add your own. We have his muzzle, his nose, 2 hearts, the teddy bear, and then the background piece. So I have found that it's a little bit easier to build the animal or the embellishment before we glue it onto the card. So we're going to take our little teddy bear, and I'm just going to put glue on the back of him. And maybe a couple of dots right there on his ears. And then I'm going to line him up on this pink paper. Now this background piece can be cut out of whatever color you want. The cheeks and the ears are what will show on this. So if you want red ears, you could cut it out of red, you could cut it out of white, tan, whatever your cheeks and the inside of your ears are going to be. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and glue that down. Okay, next I'm going to take his muzzle, and I did not ink up his muzzle, but you could if you wanted to. And the muzzle is going to come right underneath those cheeks. And then his nose goes on top. On the bear, I did not cut out any eyes because they're really tiny. And so what I would suggest is taking a black Sharpie marker or another marker and then just adding your eyes. And I didn't bring mine over here, so I'm not going to take the time to find it, but in the pictures you'll see it. And I just took my Sharpie and dotted 2 little eyes on there. Next up is the heart. So I'm going to add glue to the back of my sentiment that says "You are." Glue it down. And then at this point, you can either glue it directly or you can add it with foam pop dots. I'm going to add some foam tape to mine. Just to give it a little bit of dimension. And you can put him up, the heart up as high as you want. And then we're going to take our paws, and because I lifted my heart, I also need to lift up my paws with the same foam dots. If you weren't using dots, you would just glue it directly on there. And they're kind of tiny. They're not super small, but that's why I like to buy my my foam on the roll, because then I can custom cut them to any size that I need. Just remove those little plastic backings, the backing off the tape. I really like this teddy bear. I've done him for a lot of things, including some wood projects. And I've got some more cards. If you've seen the stand, the pop-up stand cards, I've done the teddy bears with those. Yeah, he's pretty cute. Okay, so now the teddy bear is done. We can go ahead and add him to the front of our card. But before I do that even, I'm gonna adhere these card pieces together. So what we'll do is we're gonna take this top piece and we're gonna flip it over. I'm gonna put tape along this tab and tape along this side. And you want it about 1/2 inch. Doesn't have to be perfect. Let's line it right up here first on this one. And then line it up over here. If we push both of them flat. Okay, fold it. You're gonna wanna move him a couple of times. And now we're gonna take our teddy bear and add it to the front of our card. The back of the card shows through. There's a little bit of a shadow. And you can, once again, put that on with foam pop dots, or you can glue it. I'm just gonna tape that directly on. I've already got enough dimension with the paws popped up and the heart popped up. I think I can just tape him right on there. And then last but not least, I'm going to put these little hearts on his head. And if you're doing this card for a little boy, you could omit the hearts. You don't have to do them. They're just kind of an option. Make it a little more Valentine-ish. And there is our teddy bear wiper card. You are very special. When you turn it over, you can write "to" from. Okay, so now that we've done this one, let's do the koala bear, because it is pretty much the same as the teddy bear. And I will show you the pieces that come with this one. Excuse me. So on the front of this one, you're going to actually have 2 hearts. I have the heart that again says "You are," and this time I cut it out of pink. And then we have the koala bear. I will show you all of the layers for that as we do it. The front of our card, we have the embellishment panels again. And the front piece of the card, the wiper with the heart, the background embellishment and the side embellishment, and then our "to" from, again, that goes on the back of this card. So let's go ahead and do the back of this card. Again, we're going to fold it up towards us on that first score line, and then down away from us on the second score line. First, I'm going to take my embellishment panel, make sure that I'm running it the right way. Put some tape on it. And then lay it right next to the score line. Take our angled piece, our angled embellishment piece. And then flip it over and add our to from. I'm going to fold it up. This time I think I'll put it over on that side. Okay, let's flip it back to the front, and now let's do our wiper piece. So we're going to take some glue again. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. And add it to the wiper. Fold it on that score line and fold it up towards you. Put some glue on there. And then again, we're going to cover that G and right in between those two placement lines. Oops, I bumped it. You want to make sure that it's not on the score line. And there is the back piece with our wiper piece. Set that aside and let's bring the front. We're going to score on that first line down, away from us. Whoops, I dropped it. Down, away from us. And on the second score line, up towards us. And then we'll glue on our embellishment pieces, or add them with tape runner. So we have the front piece. And you could do these out of any color you wanted to. You can make them all the same color. You can alternate the colors. That's what I do on most of mine. But this is your card, so whatever speaks to you, you do it. And I really do think these would be pretty out of some pattern paper. I don't usually do pattern paper on my projects. I used to, but then I would get people calling me, texting me, emailing me 2 years later and saying, I can't find that paper. And well, you can't, it's gone. And so now I just do the solid. All right, so there we go. We're gonna glue him all together. So flip it over. Again, tape on both sides. And then let's match up that edge right there. First. Open up both pieces and match up the bottom and the other edge. Oh, that one didn't. I didn't get that one quite on there. There we go. And then open and close it a couple of times. There's your Berry Special popping out. Okay, let's layer our Koala Bear. He is so cute. Again, I did take my distressing crayons and I inked up the edges of the arms, the paws, and his face. So we have his feet and his arms, a small heart. You can make him hold the bigger heart, but his hands kind of get in the way of reading the words. So we're gonna set it off to the side. We have 2 more hearts for his head, his nose, his muzzle, his face, and his face, actually this time I have the eyes cut out, and there's this little black piece that's gonna get glued on behind. In fact, let's do that now while I'm talking about it. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue, and then you just glue it behind the eyes. I did not do that for the bear because I did even smaller eyes for the bear, but for this one, that works, and that glue will dry clear. We have his tummy, we have his body, and then again we have the background piece. And once again, this is going to be whatever color you want his ears is what you're going to cut this piece out of. Okay, so we're going to take our body with the cutout. And just line it up there with the pink. Okay. And then let's add his tummy first. And then we can add his face. Make sure that you've glued that black circle on the back so that his eyes show through. We're going to match up that with the little hairs on his ears and his head. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to take the heart, and like I said, you can do either one. I just like the smaller one for him. And I'm going to glue this one directly onto his tummy this time. And then we can glue his little feet, and we could do those again with pop dots if you wanted to. This time we're just going to do it with the glue because I want to hurry a little bit. And I did ink those. I don't like it when my videos take forever because I think you would rather be crafty than watching me. Okay, and then his arms. And I'm thinking I probably should have put his arms on before I put his head. But we can slip it under there. The shoulders actually go underneath the head. And you can turn him any way you want so that he's kind of holding that heart. Okay, next up is his muzzle. His muzzle goes right under his eyes. And then his little nose. Isn't he just the cutest? I had a couple of requests for koala bears, and I never made them before, and I am loving this. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and the same thing, we're going to glue that on there or tape it on there. There's a little bit of a shadow right behind it. Just going to add some tape. We want him on there pretty secure so he doesn't pop off when we're holding the card. Okay, I'm going to add my little hearts to his head again. And once again, if you're making this more for a little boy, you could leave the hearts off. You don't have to do those. And then we have the UR, and you could actually leave this off because when you pop it open, when you pop it open and see Berry Special, you don't necessarily need this UR, but I think it's kind of cute. So we're going to add it. And then I am going to add this with some pop dots, and I'm going to put it right here in the corner. I just need one kind of big one. Pop it up right there. So when he folds down flat, and then you pop it open, and it says, "You are Berry Special." Isn't that cute? And again, on the back, we have the to from. Okay, the last one that we're going to do is our frog Valentine card. And we have pretty much the same pieces. I'll go through them again. Again, we have a to from for the back. This one has a heart that says, "You are totally." Then we have our frog, all of his layers. Our front of our card's has the cutout and the 3 embellishment panels. The wiper card says the best, so he's going to say you are totally the best. Our embellishment panels that go on the back of our card. So once again, take the back of our card. We're going to turn the first tab up and the second tab down to create that Z. Add our angled embellishment piece. Almost, well, not almost, all of the all of the wiper cards are made the same way. So I've got like 3, maybe 4 videos now, because the difference is the front piece, the embellishment piece. But the cards themselves are done the same. Let's go ahead and take our 2 from, fold it up. This time I think I'll put it right in the middle. Okay, let's take our wiper piece and we're gonna glue the heart. Right there on the score line, fold it up towards you. Let's add some glue. And again, cover that G and get it in between your 2 score lines. I don't know if on the camera you can see that or not. And I'm going to hold it up really close. Hopefully you can see that, how that goes on there. Okay, fold it up and set it aside. Let's add our embellishment pieces to the front here, but let's fold it first. So first score line, fold it down away from you. Second fold line, score it up towards you. I think these would make such fun Valentine cards for like people that you put a little more effort into. You could do these, of course, for like classrooms, but maybe for the teacher or your neighbor's kids, your students, just somebody that you want to give a little bit of extra effort to. They're not hard, so you could easily do a bunch of these up, but they're just a little bit special, more special than just a plain old flat, you know, boarding card that you get 50 of them in a box. Okay, so there is the front. I'm gonna go ahead and glue it to the back. So let's line up the edges right there. Okay, flatten both pieces and then line up the other edge. Oh, and I didn't get that one on straight either. Ooh, that might tear. Okay, there we go. And then do this side. I promise these goes together really well. I'm just trying to work around the camera. I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, now let's layer, whoops. Okay, I'm gonna take this apart real quick because this one didn't stay. All right, now let's go ahead and layer our frog. I saved the frog for last because he has a few more pieces than the bears do. So we have 2 legs with the circles cut out. These are for his freckles. And then we have a heart, Again, you could use this "you are totally," but when you put his legs on there, you're going to cover up some of the words. So I actually did it as a separate heart. So this smaller heart goes on his tummy. And then you have his face. His face has lots of layers. So we have the face with the eyes and the mouth and the freckles cut out. We have 2 black circles. Those are his eyes. You have this next layer is cut from white, and it's the inside of his eyes are what are going to show. You have this layer, which is pink, and it is going to show the color of his mouth. So you could do this out of red, pink, whatever. The only thing that's going to show on here is his mouth. You have the full frog with the little freckles and the tummy cut out, and then you have the back of the frog. So I did this out of a lighter green, and the rest of the frog's body I did out of the darker green. So let's go ahead and take our frog body, and we are going to just put some glue on here, and I am going to use glue instead of the tape runner because some of those pieces are kind of thin. And we're just going to line that all up right like that. Let's start with the bottom. The back legs will show through, and that's okay, they're supposed to. And then we're going to go ahead and glue the heart to his tummy. Whoops, I need a little bit more glue right there. Let's take the heart, glue it to his tummy. Glue the legs on next. These are the front legs. And where those little circles are, you want that lighter green to show through. So line up that lighter green first. All right. Now let's take the pink. This is again the part that's going to show his mouth. And these pieces are supposed to be symmetrical, but you're going to, before you put glue on them, you'll want to make sure that you're lining everything up correctly, just in case they're a hair off, because you want all those holes to line up so that the lighter green still shows through. So there's that piece. Then we're going to take the white piece. Line up those cutouts first, and you can see now that the pink for the mouth is showing through. And then finally, the green piece. And I did, if you can tell, I did take a dark green distressing crayon and inked up very lightly the edge of his face, the edge of the legs. Oops, I'm talking and not watching what I'm doing. Okay. And then finally we can take our little black circles and add them to the middle of his eyes. Oh, I think he's so cute. Okay, now we can add our frog to the front of our card. And again, there's just the littlest bit of shadow behind him. Let me get a better view of this so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, we're going to take our "You Are Totally," glue it to the front of that heart. And then I'm going to do a foam pop dot, but I just want to put it on the back because it's going to sit right there. And we need to make sure that the edge of it doesn't hang over the edge of this card, or it won't fit in the envelope. So I'm just going to put a foam top pop dot, but I just need it on the bottom of the heart. Just like that. And then when you pop him open, you are totally the best. Isn't that such a cute card? I hope that you will give these little cards a try. They are so fun and so easy. Thank you for joining me today. Please hit subscribe down below so that you don't miss any of my videos. Give me a thumbs up and have a great day.